Do you guys ever wonder why it's so hard to convince women what to do? Have you ever felt like you're trying to communicate, maybe try to tell a woman what to do, trying to change her, trying to make her do something or not do something, and it seems impossible? Well, guys, you came to the right channel. If you guys are new here, it's your big bro Nate, and on this channel, I talk about a lot of different things when it comes to growing as a man. Sorry, I'm a little out of breath. I just got done with a leg workout. I hate legs, guys. I don't care what anybody says. Some people will say, oh, it's the best workout because it's the worst, because it sucks the most. But no, it just sucks. So anyway, guys, we're gonna try to get through this video today. And if you guys are new to the channel, I do want to say welcome. If you've been here, thank you for all the support. But on this channel, guys, I talk about a lot of things that are controversial, and I want you guys to be the best, right? I don't want you to screw up like I did in my younger 20s and my teen years, right? Made a lot of mistakes, learned a lot, right? A lot of trial and error, learned a lot along the way. And I just want to share with you guys, share my experience, keep you guys from going down that path. And honestly, there's a lot of other YouTubers that make videos like this, and I think they're halfway there. I think they're halfway correct when it comes to a lot of this stuff. But from what I've experienced, from what I've seen, from what a lot of other people have experienced, there's more to it, right? And I say that because there is a spiritual side to everything, guys. I'm not one of those like feng shui people. I'm not one of those, mystical people, but I believe that there is a spiritual side to it. And I think a lot of people on YouTube these days just enjoy complaining for the sake of complaining. I'll be the first to say, I love women, right? Absolutely love them. I think God made them great. He made them amazing just the way they are, right? He had to make a companion, a helper for man, and a good woman is a perfect fit. The issue a lot of men are having these days is it seems like, right, and I emphasis on seems, it seems like a lot of women are not worth your time or your effort, right? A lot of guys feel cheated by women. A lot of guys feel like women don't respect them. A lot of guys feel like they're not enough. A lot of guys feel like, they were told one thing, right? Either be nice or be a complete jerk. Either let her do her own thing or control her. A lot of black and white thinking, guys. And I was reading Proverbs. I love Proverbs. If you guys haven't started reading it, I highly recommend it. For the last couple months, I've been trying to read at least one Proverbs a day. It works out really well because each month has about 31 days. Proverbs is 31 chapters. So you just read an extra chapter at the end of the month. And one of the verses it talks about, guys, in Proverbs 27 is like a quarreling wife, right? A contentious wife. It talks about this, multiple times. It talks about the adulterous woman. It talks about the quarrelsome woman or wife. And it says to restrain her is like trying to restrain the wind or trying to grasp oil with your hand, right? Obviously, if you guys have ever, tried to grasp olive oil or coconut oil, it doesn't work. It just drips out of your hand, right? The concept here is pretty straightforward. And the main thing I want to drive home to you guys is when it comes to women, you cannot change them. You can't change them. You're not going to convince them. You're not going to make them think differently than you. You're not going to be able to out-argue them. You're not going to be able to change their mind, right, through logical thinking. You're just not, guys. It's going to take effort on her part if she wants to change. That is the reality. That is what I've learned. Have a lot of dating experience, dated a lot of different women over the years, some short-term relationships, some long-term. It doesn't matter. Guys, a woman is going to respect you on her own terms. That's to put it very bluntly. That is to give you the cold, hard truth. I have not been successful with certain women in my life. A few months, a year or two later, for whatever reason, because maybe I got more confident, because I became more sure of myself, because maybe I earned a little bit more money, had a better job, right? Could have been a combination of these things. All of a sudden, these women wanted to do what I wanted to do. They wanted to follow my lead. They wanted to be in my life. They wanted to be part of my life. Sometimes women I had really great relationships, times, whatever you want to call it, dates with. A few months, years, whatever, later, maybe you try to reconnect, you try to reach out for whatever reason. I don't really recommend this. I normally do it as an experiment, but normally, if I'm being 100% honest with you guys, it doesn't work because you're a different person. You're not the same person that she respected, that she wanted to be a part of. And that could be for a million different reasons, guys. Sometimes when it comes to women, I've said this before, I'll say it again, always be careful. Always be aware of why a woman wants to be in your life, right? If you find a woman at the bar or the club, I'm not saying she's gonna be a terrible woman for you, but I'm saying really think about it, right? Would she be the type of woman that you want to bring home to mom? And a lot of times these women are gonna be sweet to you guys. They're gonna be sweet, they're gonna be nice, right? They're gonna like you for your looks, for your charm, for your money, for your charisma, for your confidence, for your social status, for your just maybe, combination of these things, right? The way you just make them feel at that point in their life, right? And a lot of times that's what it is, guys. It's just a time and place thing. Maybe they got dumped, maybe they haven't been in a relationship, and now all of a sudden they see you and they're like, whoa, he would make perfect boyfriend material, perfect husband, dad material, whatever you want to call it, right? You see, a lot of these women, guys, if we're being real, a lot of these women just want you to be arm candy for them. You see, everything's inverted on its head. Whereas men, we used to go out and we used to do our thing, and women would come to us and we would try to find the most beautiful, kind, loyal, upstanding woman. A lot of these women have it reversed, right? They're trying to find the guy that they can make their friends jealous, their family jealous, their ex-boyfriends jealous, the guys that didn't want anything to do with them, who still follow them on Instagram or Snapchat or whatever. A lot of these girls just want to make you jealous. Well, they want to make other people jealous, and sometimes they want to make you jealous depending on the circumstance. But guys, you're not going to change her. See, a lot of these guys, if you've been in this position, guys, let me know in the comments below. If you haven't already, go ahead and drop a like. Go ahead and drop a subscribe. I'm going to make a lot more of these type of videos. But if you guys have ever felt like you've been in this situation before, it's not a coincidence, right? Most guys, if not every guy, has been in this situation where he tries to change a woman. He tries to convince her. He tries to argue a point, right? And that's why wise men, that's why I've learned, right? And I'm far from wise, but I like to think I'm getting wiser with time and experience. The less you talk, the less you try to convince, the less you try to change a woman, the more that she will paradoxically change. But you have to lead by example. You have to be the example, right? In fact, I saw this guy, he made a video the other day. Look him up on YouTube, right? I don't get anything for saying this, but I follow him on YouTube. He's a really interesting dude, really fun to watch. He's got a cool spin on his videos. His name is Elisha Long. But he mentioned something in one of his videos about how a woman who, for instance, there was a guy he mentioned who had told him, he's like, yeah, this girl, I don't know if it was his girlfriend or not, but like, there's this girl and she was posting pictures, like online, social media, her in a bikini, right? And it sounded like him and this girl were, the girl that Elisha was talking about, right? That this guy told him about, was pretty serious, right? It was a pretty serious thing. Could have been girlfriend, whatever, maybe looking to go that direction. And this guy Elisha said, basically you have to just be the man. You have to be the man, and she will eventually, hopefully, right, like change for you. But my spin on that, he's not necessarily wrong, because that is true. Sometimes women will like clean their act up. In my experience, guys, this is from having girls that were head over heels for me, crazy, wanted to marry me, like wanted me to be their boyfriend and everything, right? Who would have, gone 1,000 miles for me, right? They will do this for a certain amount of time. But if you meet a girl like this, guys, the probability, right? And I hate being a statistics guy when it comes to people, because there's so many variables. But the probability of her staying that way forever is extremely slim. I'm always extremely leery of women who want to change who they are for me. See, a lot of guys take this as a compliment. They take this as a, it can kind of stroke our ego a little bit. You see, some women know this too, right? And it all depends, because you have some women who, they're not going to care about changing anything or cleaning up anything for you. You're going to have some who are like, okay, this is actually a good guy. He's, like I said, maybe he's tall, he's charming, he's handsome, he would make good boyfriend, good husband material, whatever, right? Girls have all these reasons. I'm gonna clean up my act, right? I can't come off as too much of a, fill in the blank. And in my experience, guys, this facade, this act, this mask quickly falls. It goes away almost as quickly as it came. There's gonna be so many cracks. And the more that you date, the more that you go through this, right? Hopefully you don't, right? Because in a sense, it makes you kind of jaded. But if you do, you will quickly recognize a lot of these things, and you'll quickly cut ties, or you just won't take women seriously for a long-term relationship, for dating, seriously, to have, hopefully a wife one day, for her to be the mother of your children, right? Your partner. A lot of people are kind of scared of that term, but it's true. Like, God made women to be a helper. He made a helper for Adam, right? It's a compliment. A lot of men these days, we want to say that we don't need no woman. But we're sounding like a lot of female, like feminists. And the reality is, guys, a good woman can multiply your life, right? She can add to your life. Ask any guy out there who has a good wife, who cooks for him, who submits to him, who respects him, right? See, a lot of guys are focused on love. They're focused on if a woman loves him. Guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, you can have a woman love you, say that she loves you, give you gifts, shower you with affection, tell you the words you want to hear, puff you up, tell you you're the greatest guy on earth. But if she doesn't respect you, guys, she will not follow your lead. She will not respect what you want. You see, I like to live by a very simple rule. And some people are gonna think this is really harsh, but I kind of get this from my dad. My dad, he taught me a lot. He's a very wise man. He understands a lot about women. He told me about women my whole life, and I've just seen the way that he is, with my mom and just women in general, right? He's a very well-respected man. It should be very simple. You should be able to tell your woman one time, right? And that's it. Very simple, right? A lot of guys, they want to get into these arguments. They want to have these, hours and hours and hours long discussion. They want to get dragged to couples therapy. They want to go through all this, back and forth. Guys, all of this is made so that eventually the man will just crack, right? Because there's so much pressure, there's so much contention, right? Just like in Proverbs, it says a contentious wife is, it's like trying to grasp the wind. Whoever tries to restrain her. It's better to live in the corner of a housetop than it is with a quarrelsome woman, right? All these different things. Eventually, a lot of men will just snap and break and just give in and cave in, and that's why there's so many yes men. That's why there's so many happy wife, happy life dudes, right? That's why there's so many what we call simps nowadays, or betas. Like, I hate using these terms, but it's just to put it in perspective. So guys, don't try to change women, man. Like, the reason I'm talking about this, the reason I'm able to talk about it is because I've lived it in my life, right? And a lot of times, as soon as you give an inch, they will try to take a mile. They are testing you guys. Like, a lot of women, they might not even know it up front. I'm gonna be straight up with you guys, right? It's just something that a lot of women are gonna do. Some women will. Some women will purposely try to poke holes in you and try to test you and try to put you through all these little tests. Don't fall for it, guys. Like, cut that off. Like, cut her off. You don't want that drama. But women, right? Any woman is gonna test you eventually. She's gonna see how serious you are. And every woman's gonna try your boundaries at least once. That's why a lot of guys recommend, if you set a firm, hard, very clear, direct boundary and she goes against it, you tell her one time, it's like, look, I don't appreciate this. I don't feel respected, right? If this happens again, I'm not gonna be here, right? This is not gonna work. I see a lot of women, guys, if you were to say that up front, I'm talking like, first few weeks of dating, right? Like, seriously dating, first couple months, it doesn't have to be long. Well, a lot of guys wait until forever in the future and try to like start laying down the law. But guys, at the end of the day, a good woman, she's going to respect you. You're not gonna change her. Case in point, I had a woman, I'll kind of end the video with this, right? Great woman. We knew each other for a long time, right? We were similar in a lot of ways, a really godly girl. We had talked about something, and then months later, right? Like, I thought the conversation was good, right? We had talked about something, it was a spiritual matter, and months later, it got brought up again. That conversation I thought we had, where we were on the same, I thought she saw from my perspective, she respected my lead. Months later, it came up again. Turns out that she did not. Turns out that her mind never really changed. And very quickly after that, guys, I had to cut ties. It was one of the hardest things I ever had to do because, overall, very, godly, very good woman. But if she's not willing to follow your lead, if she's willing to stand by her beliefs, right? If she's not willing to submit to what you believe, well, that's just the way it's going to be. Because what's going to happen, guys, we don't think long term. We don't think logically, right? We don't think with this head. We need to do a lot more thinking with this head. But what's going to happen is down the road, eventually, hopefully, right, you're going to have her as a wife. You guys are going to share finances. You guys are going to trust each other for, everyday things. With your kids, right? If you can't trust her with little things, if you can't trust her with beliefs and values, if you can't trust her with simple things, what makes you think you're gonna be able to trust her with great things, right? To where a little is given, right? To where more will be given. If you trust someone with the little things, you can trust them with the big things. If you can't trust someone with the little things, you obviously can't trust them with the big things. And again, a lot of guys will overlook this. They've been told that they have to argue things out, that, real love, true love, fights and it argues. And yeah, guys, like every blue moon, sure, for like random stuff. But if it's a clear boundary, if it's something that's like you're in your value system, in your ethics, in your beliefs, and she's not willing to follow you guys, and that's just the way it's gonna be. She might truly love you. She might truly think that she respects you and loves you. At the end of the day, it's better to be respected than loved as a man. I will stand by that. It even says it in the Bible. It says, men, husbands, love your wife. Love your wife like Christ loved the church and sacrificed. I'm gonna make a video on that because I think that verse gets extremely misconstrued. But then it says, women, respect wives, respect your husbands. It doesn't say wives love your husbands, right? Women are more emotionally geared anyway. But when it goes against her feelings, when it goes against how she feels, when it goes against, her, if she cannot 100% respect you to lead her, to guide her, guys, you're spinning your wheels. You're trying to grasp wind. You're trying to restrain the wind. You're trying to grasp oil. So give it up, guys. It's not worth it. It's never going to be worth it. Let me know what your experiences are below. Disagreements, comments, guys. I love hearing from you. And Lord willing, I'll see you at the next one.